Hello and welcome back to rollxplay, where we roll dice and play games. Yes, this is us. We are all here today for Threads of Chaos, our second episode of Chapter 2. Thank you for joining us. Today we'll be delving into some lore behind demons, I believe, as some questions will come up, I'm sure, by the party, but also preparing for a fight, either this session or the following. We'll see where it takes us. But with that sort of introduction out of the way, I'll give us a little bit of a recap. So the party have been training for the last 6 months. They have been away doing their own business, finding both allies, friends, family, but also finding themselves and who they are in the grand scheme of things. Last session we had seen Oberon track down an element of their past, Alicio encounter the history behind what had happened with the Heralds and their god. Ulrin had found his brother, who had been missing for a while, in a place outside of Divinity's touch. And Cal is just Cal, being a dad and having many little pets and creatures that follow him, supposedly, with one of them being his biological son or something along those lines. Anyway, that's Cal. But we return back not too long after the kind of announcement of where you'll be heading next. The group of you, as well as those inside of the manor, have declared that in the next day or so, you will be hunting down the next demon on your list. One that had essentially been caught and captured, an element of them at least, and tracked back to a place in Tunthir. The creature themselves is known as Devastus, the Woe of Death, and they have been described as quite a formidable foe, if given enough time to prepare. So, with this information, knowing where they are, and everyone being on board to help in this endeavor, including Aidan Hassar as well as Korosh Azad, you feel quite confident, but still hesitant because you don't know what this demon is capable of. But we return back to the present. Where is everyone at the moment after hearing this news? Are you guys kind of talking amongst yourselves, or have you all split?
I think we had all just toasted to the fact that we all may perish.
Yeah.
That's
so I guess everyone's probably still at the house immediately post that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about the others? The rest of you still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably talking to Victor if he knows anything. Or if we have a strategy in mind.
Mm-hmm. How about Ulrin? Same for Ulrin as well?
Yeah, I imagine so. I'd say last couple of days Ulrin would have used the facilities of the house to do his do his smithing, etc. So
you got it.
Also with everybody else here, he's staying as well.
Is Orvin having been slightly de-aged? Is that a visible thing? Is that a change we can notice?
How many years difference is Ulrin now? What was he before and what is he now? You can describe to us how he ages if you want.
Yeah, I think it was 8 years that he rejuvenated. He was 54. So, but to be fair, dwarves, while not enjoying the longevity of Dragonborn and such, have a slightly longer lifespan. So I'd say he's before his graying days.
So he does.
It's not too noticeable.
Yeah, it's subtle. He's not hit his his downward period yet. He's still riding those highs of those mid-40s. He's still doing good. You probably would notice he's got probably a bit more strength in him when he's like forging and hitting his hammer, especially. There's just that almost youthful sort of energy that he's got. Perhaps throughout the years, as a forge master would be more kind of careful with how they kind of exercise things because they don't want to wear themselves out too quickly. But with this new vigor, you can see he's kind of like really going at it. So yeah, it's subtle. It's subtle. But he's been away for a while and you haven't seen him, so perhaps there's something that happened there that has kind of given him an extra boost. Who knows? But in terms of talking with Richter, he will approach the group of you, seeing as you have a few questions, and he'll just kind of approach. He's looking better than he was before, but he's still stiff. He's still kind of like, you're hearing every so often where his kind of backbones connect to his spine. You can hear that kind of clicks more often than it would or should do. It's just kind of like the bones themselves are just still squeaking and cracking against each other, not causing pain, but you can tell he's like rigid. But he'll just say, "Are you worried about this next endeavor? I know that the last time it was both a success and a failure in some regards, so I would like to try and help if I can with any fears you may have."
I think it would probably be foolish not to be worried.
Certainly so. But we do have the element of surprise, which is a benefit. And especially from what they've said, this creature requires time to be bolder, to be stronger. If we don't give him time, then we do have the advantage. So that is something to at least boast about before we go in.
I suppose. Bit worrisome that even Hassar is coming along.
Perhaps he is more erratic than he should be. But after the last time, he might want to show a bit of help. He knows that you're risking your lives. Perhaps as a way to show his gratitude, he wishes to be there by your side when he fights. There is still an air of mistrust. Even I can see that. And I'm not the most insightful. We all have our questions, I'm sure. And you're open to have those. I think he's just trying to show you what he can do, rather than just sit back and watch.
Well, he's taking my advice, which is appreciated, I suppose. But do you know anything about this demon? The one we're facing right now?
Yeah, and like on a scale, how much more dangerous is this thing than the other one?
Is it also fire-centric in its spells, or psychic, or...
From what I understand, it is a hurricane. Devastus is a tempestuous storm that, if given enough time to brew, will unleash fury. If you've ever seen a tornado drop from the sky, it's predictable. It's slow, but as soon as it lands, it's destructive. It'll tear through anything, homes, people, whatever lies in its wake. I have not seen this creature on first hand. I only know of the stories of many of these demons that have passed by. And to answer your point, Cal, yes, he can be one of the strongest, but I believe all of them can be. Just like how you guys can as well. You all have your advantages. You all have your insights and cunning. Everyone is dangerous.
But like, compared to the one we killed 6 months ago. Compare, like, above, below, above, just them split, above them combined.
If Scalus and Plathin were one, then they would have been at the height of their power. They'd be considered the strongest out of all of the demons that we have faced. But since they were split in half, They were perhaps individually on the lower end of the spectrum. Devastus has his weaknesses, but he is physically intimidating. The stories lie that he can fight off battles of armies and stand out without an issue.
Mm.
The demons ruled over these lands for a long time, and humanity had nothing else to fight against. They had to try. They had to fight for their land. Devastus would just cut through all of them with ease. But that is before any powers were given to these mortal men. And that is when you had your gods, gifting them with oaths and power, creating champions and clerics to fight back these demonic scourges. They all have weaknesses. We've seen that with Plethin and Scalus. One of them was smarter, the other one was more of a brute. This is someone who has seen war and will probably think like a tactician. But it's one person, one creature. If there are many of us, and we are fast, perhaps we can't give them enough time to think.
So swiftness.
You
and
like-
movement is bad.
As fast as we can, yes. Execute a plan and give them no option to retreat or move. In the end of the day, to get them in these pendants is knocking them down, whether it be by their spirit or their physicality. He's physically capable, perhaps his spirit is the weakness.
Okay. Well, considering he's all about tempest and storm, perhaps preparing some potions to shield against it.
That would be wise, yes.
I'll
I
go
can
to it.
control some elements of nature, the flow of wind. From what I've heard, it is as though his body is almost surrounded by a gathering wind. One so powerful enough that it will cut through anyone that steps close within his reach. It's not him that's the danger, it's what he can conjure. The space around him.
Oh, right. I'm going to be completely useless.
Well, perhaps not, Cal. There are ways to get through a storm. Pockets of air. Breaking the spin. Or perhaps
Yeah, try doing
even...
that with a little arrow. But I can still try. I can try. Yeah. Sure.
Perhaps I could enchant arrows to withstand such forces of nature. Give them a protective layer cutting through the wind.
Is that something you can do? Make arrows withstand the wind?
It's been done before, not by me personally, but if I consult my books and the history among our clergy, then I'm likely to find such a thing.
Well, do we have time for that? Hazar sounded like he kind of wanted to leave, like, tonight.
It might take a day.
We'll see if we have time for that, but it's not the most urgent. Like, I'm sure I can find some other way to damage wind. Probably.
Which brings me to the question. You liken the demon to a storm. Is that his physical form, a storm?
No, it isn't. He's described as a man. A tall
That certainly
and
makes
powerful
target.
man, akin to a giant. But he lays within the Tunthia swamps, a place where a giant is easily seen. So perhaps he has manipulated his form.
Cool.
In any case, doesn't it is less worrisome to know the target is physical. Punching wind is a lot less effective.
I'm sure there's ways of breaking through that barrier. Perhaps hitting him with something big enough might do the trick. And as well, if it's like any sort of enchantment or spell, then perhaps it requires his full attention. Break that and perhaps it drops. These are things that no one have tested, no one's tried, but perhaps Koril Shazad knows more. I'm only going on what I've heard. Accounts of stories. And as much as I believe in them, a first-hand account is much better than someone else's whisper that's carried on and forgotten and been misremembered.
Well, we're certainly bringing enough people to try all sorts of things.
Indeed.
Yeah, we'll just throw everything at him and see what sticks, and then we'll continue with that. Good plan. Not really a good plan. But we got this. We totally got this.
Well, I've been speaking with Coraline about perhaps orchestrating some sort of plan. And with this idea of this storm that gathers around them, and how they've been described as a cyclone, a hurricane, we'd thought that as destructive as they are, there's one place where it isn't, and that's in the center. If you're able to find your way in, perhaps by teleportation or otherwise, maybe that is his weak spot. Face to face with him rather than an arm's length.
How are your melee skills, Cal?
Mine? Horrible.
Huh.
But like, we have enough people in this little group of ours that can try that. That doesn't have to be me. I can stay very far away from the giant that kills armies and shoot it with arrows.
Let's try that. But if you need to borrow my old shield, just say so.
I think that would hinder me more than it would help, but I could... Sure. Maybe.
And he gives you his old wooden shield. Just hold on to it.
What do I do with it?
Well, you can put it across your back. If an attack comes flying your way, duck down, turn your back.
Wouldn't that, like, get in the way of my quiver and shit? I can try. Okay, sure.
You could make a metal hook to go over the shield. And you can attach your quiver.
But then attacks would hit my quiver. Sure. Maybe. Does Cal have? I don't think Cal can use shields.
I have no idea.
I don't think rangers can do that.
Victor will also, before kind of leaving you guys to it, Kirill has gathered a few books that might be helpful in finding more information about this Devastus. If any of you wish to look through them, they are within the library. Perhaps you will see something that we haven't.
Certainly.
I think Alicio wants to look at the books.
I'll gladly take a look.
Okay.
Oberon
Yeah.
will also go along to have a look at the books.
All right.
So will Oberon.
Then whoever is gathering research, I'd ask you to roll a history check. If you want to give someone advantage, you're more than welcome to. It's Ulrin, Alicio, and Oberon. The three of you are doing it. Cal,
Yes.
we'll get to what Cal's up to.
Yeah, Cal would be a distraction more than anything, so Cal's not going to be helping.
I got a +4.
I got a +8.
Jesus.
Dang.
History?
We'll say history or religion because they're both entwined in demons.
Ooh.
So
I'm gonna do history.
I think that's the same for me. Anyway, I'm going to
30,
give
20.
advantage to Alicio.
okay.
23.
Okay. Looking through the books, the three of you kind of spend some of this afternoon going into the evening just trying to find any sort of slither you can against this creature. From what you can see, the creature has never been alone. There has always been another demon with them. One that has been described as the Avatar of Death. Whereas you have Devastus, the Woe of Death, who would essentially bring this death to the Avatar of Death. The Avatar of Death was an onlooker, was a watcher, just idly preying on those who had died by his blade or by his storm. Together, they are mentioned in every moment throughout history. And in some almost aspects, you get this like lovers, like two creatures in love. Devastus.
Do we know?
Yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say, do we know anything about this other entity?
I'm sure you can roll another check if you want to. Again, either history or religion.
No.
With a 9. The name doesn't ring a bell. It's not something that would have cropped up in stories necessarily. However, because you still asked the question, I will say that there's an element of that name, the Avatar of Death, that is related to the Raven Queen. Some sort of connection between the two that you're not too sure what it could be, but there's been some connection there in the past. And now it is clear that from the previous role that you had, the Avatar of Death is a demon. It stemmed in the same way that the rest of these demons have. However, it's not a name that you've come across. It's not a name that you've seen on the list of demons that you have to kill or that are part of this void group trying to bring back Asmodeus. If anything, it seems like this Avatar of Death doesn't exist anymore. So that's what you kind of gather from that. Devastus, on the other hand, is constantly referred to and mentioned alongside this avatar. However, there is a point in history where the demons continue to ravage and plunder, but there is no more of the two of them. They almost disappear together at the same time. You're not sure as to why that is or how that came about, but it seems like the two of them were heavily connected to one another. And with the idea of the Avatar of Death perhaps even have expired or have disappeared in some way, then it leaves you to believe that perhaps Devastus is even weaker than you'd expect. Because without the Avatar of Death, how strong is a Woe of Death? As well, because Alicia, you roll a 23, could you roll a insight check?
Sure. 15.
From the stories that you've read and kind of seen and depictions of Devastus, in every sort of timeline of events that you're kind of following, it seems that he's gradually gotten more and more injured. He is not as immortal as the other demons, it seems. There are depictions of him being stabbed multiple times and actually reeling from the pain, taking the pain on, but still fighting nonetheless. It seems that his fighting spirit is the thing that continues whilst his body still falls to many injuries, which leaves you to believe that perhaps his body is weaker than what is described in the stories, that his spirit is the driving force. But it's never said whether he's a spellcaster, whether he has sort of elemental abilities. It is just this storm, this gathering storm, that just cuts through people as they get close.
Okay. Does it like mention quite literally his body falls apart, but he's still fighting, or?
There are elements of people having gotten through the storm and have speared him, but he still stands, even though there is a clear hole left behind by the blade or by the weapon used. His body doesn't heal the same way that others do. He continues on with the injuries he has sustained.
Are we gonna have to bully this guy into giving up? Okay. Noted. So essentially would be kind of having to kill his belief and succeeding in winning a fight. Okay. Cool. Does it say anywhere how he heals? Like, does he have any power absorption of any elements like Richter does? No?
Doesn't seem to. No.
Hmm.
Nothing seems to be able to get close enough for people to have described or have gained an insight. Because a lot of these are on like the battlefield, where one person has survived from the army and have retold the tale of what they'd seen.
Is there any kind of visual depiction of the two, like especially of the lover?
A depiction of the two. Roll another history or religion check. With the others there, you can have advantage since you're all kind of like working together. With a 14, you can't find any depictions of the Avatar of Death. There's nothing within these books that you found. A lot of this is just pertaining to Devastus. However, for almost these retellings, there is a couple of renditions that have been drawn out as like first account sort of details of what they've seen on the day to explain how their army was destroyed. And it is this large, almost funnel of a tempest, of a storm, gathering around from the center and opening wide up top. The wind so prevalent and powerful that it just cuts through anything like a blade, like the deft of blade, quick, just slicing through anything, as though itself is like a sonic boom just going off. But in the lightning that transpires and kind of lights some of the space in this image that's been painted, there is the figure inside that is muscular, large, the size of a giant in some ways, more akin to, we'll say, a storm giant in how they look. So they're not towering completely. They have still realistic proportions to them, but they do just seem like a humanoid. There's no additional features or anything along those lines. It just seems to be a giant in this storm.
Okie dokie. Got you. Dang, I was really hoping that would be images of the lover. Oh well.
No pictures, Purpose.
Not here, unfortunately.
She was quite hot, if that helps.
Leonie.
Like,
What? That's basically the only thing. I don't remember anything else about the
my
description.
idea was like just mid-fight, boom, image of your
I
dead
know,
wife.
I understand. If you want to try and find more information, the connection to the Raven Queen was made by Oberon, so you may be able to try and cross-reference that as a potential option. One thing I will say is there is a temple to the Raven Queen that is in Sembros, which is the center of Cal's area, which isn't too far away from the Aerith Dynasty, but it's in the Dawn Republic. It will take a while on foot, but teleportation is available via the mansion.
I mean, aren't we like leaving today?
You have a day. So
I'll look if we have any books on the Raven Queen, and if we don't,
okay.
Alicia will ask if they can go.
Okay. Well, we'll say the first initial set of research is done. Alicio, you will continue the research into the Raven Queen. Will anyone else join Alicio in this, or are you going to do other things?
You know what?
I'd say
That's fun. I want to research death.
Could somebody go in my stead? Because Alicia would need to spend some time brewing potions.
But I go to Zambros actually. Yeah, sure. Cal can go to Zambros.
Thanks. I give him the notes of what's important to
Sure.
find.
Oberon's
do this.
Pictures of his dead wife.
good
No.
idea to go or not, but knows that it's probably not a good idea to let Cal go by themselves, so we'll go with
Aww. Oh,
Okay.
he survived the last 6 months on his own. Mostly. Intact.
Okay.
in that case,
Jellybean. It's increasingly looking like you. Don't worry about it.
You don't know that Jellybean is currently in a fucking glass of jam. Because Max allowed me a transport method, and it's a glass of jam.
Yeah. The slime is now in a jam jar.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Arno?
I was gonna ask if Oren can spend the day trying to weatherproof Cal's arrows.
Okay, sure. We'll say since this is an enchantment based, or do you have some idea of almost weighing them down in some way?
I was like thinking a tangible force field that precedes the arrow tip cutting through the wind without impeding the arrow.
Okay, so this will be enchantment based.
Yeah.
So as we're kind of going through this, well, I'll ask you, how many do you want to try and enchant? How many arrows specifically?
How many can I? I mean, I'd say he'd try his best to get as many of Cal's arrows enchanted as he can.
Okay. Are you going to use the entire evening for this then?
Yep.
Okay. We'll have that in mind in the background. Alicio, you're going to be doing some potion brewing, you said? Okay, preparing some potions. Excellent. Then Cal and Oberon, the two of you are heading to Sembros, is that right?
Yup.
Okay. So, having told the rest of the kind of manor here about the plan, you'll see they kind of agree to the notion, and the manor, the estate, is teleported in to the surroundings of Sembros, and you are instantly ejected out as fast as you can to not cause suspicion by any of the local guards here. As soon as you exit and you begin to look around, you can see that this area is fairly colorful. You are in the heartland of the Dawn Republic, a almost newly sanctioned, almost safe zone that is away from any sort of grievances or civil unrest. This place is an open republic where towns have come together to follow this one city as its beacon, as its following. And you can see a lot of the town guards here are dressed in almost these mixtures of silver, blue, red, and green kind of colors, depicting kind of all backgrounds, really. The green is representing the Everett dynasty and some of the people who moved in from that region. You have the red, which represents the Vorid Empire, which moved in from that region. And then you have the silver and the blues representing the rest of the central region, as well as elements of Transvalar to the east. You are basically right in the middle of Cal's area. Here, people are abundant. They're walking around, they're smiling, they're happy. The weather here is quite cold. It is winter, so it is getting darker sooner. And since it is going into the evening, it is already quite dark as you're kind of exiting, bundled up in some layers of protection. For Oberon, you don't really feel the cold as much, but for Cal, you're having to like bundle up a little bit more because Isradana is quite an arid sort of space to live in. So you guys are accustoming yourselves to the surroundings. One of the first things that you see in the streets, though, is the thing you're kind of looking for. You see guards, tall and impressive, with these headpieces that are helmets that have shapes of raven kind of beaks coming out. They are darker in almost tone and metal, and they have these large flamboyant sort of headpieces of raven feathers that dress downwards. It's almost like a mohawk going down, spreading upwards at the top, and then feathering themselves down the back of the neck, and then turning into this almost cloak at the back, all as one piece interconnected. They walk around with spears, and you can see they are fairly, I wouldn't say abundant, but there's enough of them that kind of brings you the attention of the Raven Queen is present in this city, heavily so. But the streets are busy, even though it's dark. You can see lights are illuminated. People are celebrating. It is coming up to the end of the year, and you see a lot of people are kind of readying themselves for a new year, hoping that luck kind of changes for them moving forward. And everyone's just in a good mood and celebrations. Are you guys looking directly for this temple, or do you go off and do other things?
No, we're here on a mission, so we're going to go straight to the temple unless we get distracted.
Yeah. Also, seeing Cal kind of like shivering, I'd like reach into my stuff and like pull a scarf and like a big oversized like snow hat out of my cold weather gear and just like put them on Cal's head and like wrap him up. Because you cannot be getting sick when we're just about to go fight. No colds.
It just snuggles into it. Hell yeah.
Okay. Then I'd ask from either both of you or one of you at advantage a survival check to see if you can find where the Raven Queen Temple is in the city.
Oh, my survival is probably way worse than yours.
Yeah, probably.
So
I'm not even gonna lie. Mine's a
investigate, but-
10.
Yeah. You do.
Survival is kind of my thing. Alright, 25.
It really is. Jesus.
Yeah. I am a ranger.
Even though it is
We're
dark.
good at one thing.
Even though it is dark in this city and you're not seeing many of the details outside of the main lights on the streets, and the streets are wide, they're cobbled, it is all very kind of homely in how it feels in this city. There is also almost like Chinatowns here. There are small districts that are dedicated to other sort of nations that have moved into here. You're seeing almost pockets of the Vorid Empire with their kind of steampunk sort of aesthetic to many of the wall faces. You're also seeing natural growth for elements of Melora and creatures that bound themselves to nature and the woods. You see elements of the Everett dynasty as well, some more almost traditional looks and designs to some of the buildings here. Everyone has been able to leave their imprint and their kind of touch in the city. And they're all very amicable with each other.
Stuff around the inner wall.
It is, yeah. As you are walking through, though, Cal, you're looking for the Temple of the Raven Queen. You hear something on the wind that sounds like a raven's call, and it instantly catches your attention, and you start to follow it. As you kind of rather than following the main roads that are quite busy, take the side streets to find a faster way there. You eventually begin to see this blue light, this blue flame just illuminating in the sky. And as you get closer and closer, you begin to see that kind of like blue light is actually sitting on top of something. It is so dark in the skybox that this building almost blended in with it completely. Made out of this black onyx sort of material, this huge and impressive cathedral that is dark, gothic in its styling, large overhanging elements with gargoyles that have representations of ravens to them, all looking down and around in different sections. It is very ostentatious. It is very showmanship in how it's been designed. And as soon as you walk within 30 feet of it, you hear that core of the raven just stop. And almost the hum of the city, that kind of busy sort of thoroughfare you were in before, almost stops, and the sounds just kind of go deathly quiet as soon as you're in the presence of this building. The atmosphere almost drops as you are in the halls of death. And here, people deserve some quiet. You turn to the main front door, which is two large kind of arched entrances. One of the doors is completely open whilst the other one is currently closed. And at the very front of the kind of entranceway between those two sets of doors, you see a statue of a female figure stood there. For a moment, you kind of look at it and you'd think that it is the Raven Queen, but it's quickly denied. As you can see, this is actually a high priestess. This is someone who actually was probably a leader at some point, some sort of representation of the Raven Queen, someone who has gained enough influence and command to have a statue erected in their honor. But you can see she doesn't have the same features as the Raven Queen would, where there is a mask that is placed, her face is on full show, an elven woman just kind of looking down in almost this complacent sort of look, but the eyes ring with this motherly touch. Someone who is there to almost guide those who are lost. And you can see a raven just lands on its shoulder and just looks down at the two of you as you are beginning to approach.
Everyone's just kind of looking up at it and going, that was interesting.
Very. I love birds. They're so fun. Let's find a priest.
You begin to look around for a priest, and there's a couple in this building. As soon as you enter the main doorway, you can see this large and impressive kind of set of pews that look up with stained glass windows to the left and the right, to, at the very end, a somewhat altar that then looks back at the rest of the sermon that would be here. Running rivers kind of cascading in, bridges that over and connect to where these seating arrangements are. It is very calming to be in here. It is very soft in how it feels, even though it can look quite daunting, since everything is very sharp and angular, with depictions of death in some regard, in some way or another. In here, the Raven Queen is present in everything. The stained glass kind of windows, the top is even stained glass. Looking down, you can see the mask almost 3D as it's pushing out with a hand that looks further forward from the mask. It is all an ode to death. And as you're looking around for a priest, you do see someone that is sat down, wearing this kind of long clothing to them, but clearly they are a hunched figure with a wide sort of broad shoulder to them. You begin to approach, and you see they kind of stand up and turn to you. Yes, how may I help you?
Oberon would kind of defer to Cal.
We're doing some research into a being of your religion, sort of. We've seen some hints in our research that they might be related to the Raven Queen, and we were hoping that you could maybe offer us some insight. It's called the Avatar of Death, and we'd like to know some more about them. And in particular, if maybe you have some sort of like depiction, a drawing, or any thought of that kind, that would be really helpful.
This individual you see is elven, kind of slightly shaded sort of look to them. They're not really showing many of their features, but you can see there's a slight tinge of almost pale skin that's underneath some of the robes. Who look to you. The Avatar of Death. Perhaps I can refer to you with the Paladin of the Raven Queen. They might be able to guide you further. It is not a name that I've heard in a long time, but I can be sure to reach out to them.
This is kind of urgent. We kind of need this information, like, today. If that's not possible, that's not possible. This is more of a we thought we'd ask thing than a we relied on this thing.
He kind of shakes his head. You are here with a reason. The Raven Queen wouldn't have guided you here otherwise. The Raven outside had brought you here, no?
Well, I did follow. Yeah, now that you say it, it kind of did.
He just turns and starts walking towards the altar.
Do we follow him? Is that an offer to follow?
Oberon would step forward a little bit, but stay like a good 10, 15 paces behind him.
At the back of the altar, there is this impressive tree that just rises outwards, creating this backdrop of nature that almost counteracts the elements of death that have been depicted everywhere. The Raven Queen is not just the goddess of death. She's the goddess of life, the afterlife. She guides those to the next part of their journey. And part of that is life. She is seen through this almost ode, this memoriam to Melora, who is the epitome of what life is. It is everything here. It is the ground, the land, it is the nature that thrives. And you can see there is a merriment of the two in this depiction at the back. But he kind of stops, turns to you. Please, he is inside. And there is a door to the right-hand side that he opens up, and you see a dark chamber, almost like a private sort of altar to pray to inside. Looking in, the two of you can see this long stretch of a hall, but at the very end, there is small candle lights, hundreds of them, just creating this glow at the very end of the room. A lot of them are this soft sort of warm, almost candlelight, but some of them are also this kind of blue hue that you saw at the top of the building earlier. A flame that is reminiscent to the Raven Queen. Please, they are inside. They will speak to you further about this Avatar of Death.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Oberon would step forward
Okay.
into this space.
As you begin to step in, the door is closed behind you to allow some privacy for your conversation. You see a hunched
That's not
figure
creepy at all.
at the front who is currently kneeling, it seems, to the candlelight. They do not utter a word as they are praying in silence. What do you guys do?
Wait for like 5 seconds before getting impatient. Sorry, go ahead.
I would just kind of breathe deeply and I guess say a silent prayer, basically apologizing if in the last 6 months he did anything to offend anything associated with this.
Oh, I think you did.
But they do need, that we do need help with this for a noble cause. Like, this is probably one of the few times that Oberon has, like, genuinely said a prayer for anything in their whole life. And would just kind of turn to Cal with a, like, maybe you should do the same kind of gesture. Just like a.
Do I get what? Wait, did you do the prayer out loud? Because otherwise, Cal's just getting a look of like, do it.
No.
What? Do
Oberon would do whatever the like gesture associated with like praying is, like the equivalent of like the hands clasped kind of thing, and like put their head down for a second, say a prayer, and then kind of look up and look back over at Cal and do like a bit of a like say a prayer, kind of like we're in a church, maybe we should do church things.
Max, remind me very quickly, relationship Melora Raven Queen. Was Melora the mother of the Raven Queen? Or was it one generation further apart?
I believe Melora was the mother of the Raven Queen.
Right. And Cal's going to do a prayer to Melora, but slightly altered to fit to the daughter of the person he usually prays to. So it's a very Melora prayer, but with alterations and not targeted at her.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can the two of you roll a d100, please?
This is why you don't pray in temples. Okay.
That's really high.
Okay.
No, it's not. High is bad.
You want to be rolling low
So...
for these sorts of things if you want a good
yeah,
result.
exactly.
Anyway. So the two of you, do you say it out loud or do you say this to yourselves?
Like a whisper.
Okay. Oberon?
Fuck no.
Okay,
that
inside.
shit is in Oberon's head. That's an inside thought.
I thought so. Thought I'd check anyway. The two of you have a moment in this dark corridor to have a prayer to yourselves as an ode of respect before you journey any further. As the two of you focus and give this prayer, there is this kind of like tickle down the back of your neck, which is like cold, and it feels like that sensation when there is a saying that if you ever get goosebumps or a chill behind your spine, it's because someone has walked over your grave. And you just kind of have that sort of shudder. But as you finish the prayer, you see the figure hunched before now stands up and begins to turn their head to you. Please, you may come.
Step forward.
The priest out front said it was okay if we come here.
But of course, there is no problem with that. Join me by the candles.
Would go over and stand or kneel if he's kind of going to kneel again. Right, whatever he's doing.
You can see there is elements of armor that is resting on the side of this altar. Impressive, sort of dark steel, reminiscent of the kind of soldiers you had seen outside before with the raven motifs. This one, much more almost built for purpose, less flamboyant and more structured and rigid. Someone who is a pure fighter. There are nicks, there are broken elements to it. It's seen some wear and tear throughout the years, but the helmet rests to the side with elements of gauntlets as well that are there. As this figure has this large cloak over the back, their hood slightly covers most of their features. They haven't turned to present to you at the moment. They kind of just continued looking at the candles as you two both approach from the sides.
The figure that I saw didn't have armor like this, right?
Which figure are we referring to?
The one that
Which-
came and seemed to want Grim's soul, that one.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what do you think they're talking about?
That's a double check.
What other fucking figure has been important last time? Anyway, yeah. Okay.
We were wondering if you could help us with some research. Maybe.
But of course. I am no scholar, but I have a history that I can help shine a light on. What is it that I could aid with?
We're looking on any sort of information about the Avatar of Death. We have, our previous research has shown that they have some sort of relation with the Raven Queen. So we are hoping that you could shine some light on that and who they are. And maybe very helpful would be if you have some sort of depiction of them or if you could describe them to us or something like that.
What?
Oh, like,
It's an
You know,
oddly specific request.
she's seen them. Yeah, that's an oddly specific task.
It sounds as if you wish to impersonate this figure.
No, not as much. We want to sort of. This is gonna sound bad. I think the idea is to scare someone with it, but someone bad who deserves it.
Interesting. Well, if they are knowledgeable in history, they would know that the Avatar of Death is no longer. They have expired. They have finally met with death.
Right. Well, but okay. It's
Know
nice of
how
you to
long
confirm
ago
that.
this was? I mean, in our research, we saw at least references to them throughout a lot of history, and then suddenly, seemingly none.
What do you know of the Raven Queen? You come here asking for guidance. I'm assuming perhaps you aren't as privy as the rest of us, that we make it our mission to learn every element of it, whether good or bad. History is history.
Oberon would just kind of immediately spew just like the stories and things, kind of, summary of the Bible, basically, of what Oberon knows, has read, has heard about the Raven Queen, would do the whole mixed bag, like the good and the bad
Okay.
kind of things.
Most of that is right. Especially when you look back to before the collision of the two comets, Evelyn and Bender. But from that point, that's where your ideals have changed. The Raven Queen has been a persistence, a constant, a thing of change that is never left. Whereas they are a god, they were shunned. They had defied their pact. They had influenced the mortal realm. And the Raven Queen was cast from Elzora, the celestial plane in which all of these gods live. They had rendered her powerless, no longer one of their faction. A curse, you could say, or a lesson imposed by their father, by the father, Moradin. It was a lesson that all the gods had learned from, to not impede directly with mortal lives, to help them, but not to change them. To change was their option, was their choice. She had tried to do a noble deed, but had succumbed to a falsehood, a fate that she thought she could change for the better. But she failed in that aspect, and thus she was cast away.
Hal's face, by the way, is like pretending to be politely interested, but mostly wondering, how is this related to the fucking question we asked? And so she's sitting there like, cool. That's nice.
Would you like a drink?
Would I know?
No, thanks.
Go on.
Would I know who / like what this individual was that like she tried to help and then got banished for? Like, is that common knowledge, or is that like a...
You can roll a history check. There's elements of history that have been shared. 22, okay. It is in reference to an evil that had taken place long ago. During that same moment where the comets had collided, in the aftermath of it, not too long after, a creature of evil had emerged, known as Andrix the Cruel. A creature so foul that they wished to eradicate all of anything, but mainly gods, and specifically Trasvalar, as what it stood for, was the Holy Bastion, the place where the gods held so dear. It was that moment that the Raven Queen tried to impede the creation of Andrix, but in fact, they actually caused it to happen.
So that's part of the reason why she has a bit of a sketch reputation then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The paladin will continue. That moment of the collapse, there was no god of death. There was no usher to the beyond. It was a throne room left empty, and a demonic force took its place, pretending as a falsehood to be this Raven Queen, whispering into its idols' ears and tainting them with their ideals. They were around for a long time, longer than they should have. But the one who took the Raven Queen's spot was this Avatar of Death.
Right.
So a false god.
A false
You
god.
said demonic?
Correct.
Huh.
But, luckily so, the champion of the Raven Queen had stood to defy this false god, had seen through the lies, and had destroyed them, to where this Avatar of Death is no longer seen or heard. They had just simply stopped being.
And he did that himself, huh? Just him. Only him. No one else was involved. This is how you rewrite history. I see. No, okay. Sorry.
Okay. Interesting. So they're 100% dead. Like, okay.
Didn't say that. He did say simply ceased to exist.
They had just vanished. No longer on this realm. Whether they are with death or somewhere beyond, they were no longer needed, as the Raven Queen had retaken her spot.
Oh. Okay. So how were they? Like, as a person?
I did not have the displeasure of meeting them, luckily enough.
But do you have, like,
texts to talk about? Because all what we could find was rather sparse and detailed, right? So.
There are old renditions, old holy testaments that were rewritten by her new followers, the Avatar of Death's Shadar Kai. There is still those here hidden in the vault if you wish to require one, but to what end do you need this? To scare someone?
Yeah.
I do like a good scare. Do not spread these testaments as they are falsehoods. And I would like this returned to me with haste.
If we don't die, you'll get them back by like 2 days.
Why will you be dying?
No reason.
Such is the way of adventurers. Accident prone. And would gesture to like some of the scars that are all like directly on their face. As a kind of like trying to do like a whoopsie.
I can understand that sentiment. Let me go and get the text for you. And you see he'll stand up and he'll brush past the two of you. For a brief moment, as he kind of like turns to stand and move past, the two of you see what is a gaunt-looking man under the hood, to the point where their features are very strong, very tight to their face. But unless you wish to look at more, that's all you see as he walks past.
Oberon would endeavor to remember the face
Okay.
as he goes by.
You are left there by yourselves.
This guy is weirdly trusting. We're not very believable. Why the fuck is he showing us secret tomes? This is weird.
Think of Olerin and Alicio. Priests are smarter in a lot of ways than the most of us.
Right, so you don't think he just senses good vibes? I don't think that's...
He's some high priest, then I'm sure he has his ways.
Oh.
Whether we like them or not, they carry a lot of power.
Yeah.
Well, the priest outside didn't say that it's a high priest. He said it's a paladin of the Raven Queen, right? Is that different or is that the same thing?
So
Like the paladin of the Raven Queen, the high priest of the Raven Queen.
He's a real old, some kind of champion of the Raven Queen.
No, champion is different.
a paladin is someone who fights on behalf of their deity. A high priest or high priestess, there's only one of those typically, and they are the ones, the bearers of knowledge, the one who has all of the secrets behind the deity in question. Both of them are the highest level of their command. So the paladin would usher the control of all of the guards, whilst the priest would look after all of the clerics and the clergy themselves.
Right.
Whilst you have one which is the shield, you have the other which is the kind of sword and the kind of forward-facing aspect of it.
So essentially, like how Alicia's dad is the high priest and Alicia's sister is the paladin.
Exactly. Yes.
So this guy is more like Alicia's sister.
That's right.
Okay. So he shouldn't be too good at insight. Maybe he's just stupid. No, okay.
After what feels like 15-20 minutes, eventually the door reopens and you can see he begins to walk in with not just one but two items. His walk is quite silent. He doesn't have much of a jostle to him. However, you do hear a lot of the metal kind of squeaking against each other, as though it's just a bit kind of loose. But as he approaches, he will have both of these items in his hand. One of them is a tome, the same one he had described to you before. The other one is an idol. You see almost a statue carved from ebony and ivory. Just kind of this small little relic, which is eerily similar to the Raven Queen and how they're depicted. But if you were to have the two together, or like side by side, you would see that they are distinct people. And thus a false idol that not many people would see unless comparing them to. You may take these.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful.
Before he hands them to you, he pulls it back. Now, this is a dangerous element of the past that I do not wish to crawl up again from the surface. Could you be very careful with them? And promise me that you will give them back.
If we ourselves come out, we will leave instructions to bring them back without necessarily expressing what they precisely are. If you're able, they will be returned to you.
Can one of you roll a persuasion check at advantage? Or both of you can roll individually?
Mine is +10. I don't know how yours is, Cal.
Mine is less.
Okay. I will do my best then, if you're happy to give me the roll.
Of course.
Oh,
Hell yeah!
Not
That's
20.
20.
Not 20. Let's go.
I think he believes us.
Very believable demon. Give me your holy texts.
You see, he isn't bothered by you being devilish in nature, because as he hands you these relics, you see that his hands aren't necessarily hands. You see fingers, you see elements of a palm and a wrist and an elbow, but they're all just bone, all just connected to each other. As he hands them to you, you then can see slightly under the hood what was before sunken, sallow features are in fact bone, white bone, across his entire face. His entire body is just made out of this skeletal remains. He himself is an undead, so he does not fear a devil being in the presence of a place of holiness, because he also defies that nature. He hands them to you.
That's what I know so much.
Well, take care of these items, please.
No problem.
When can I
Very
expect their
carefully with
return?
them. Hopefully,
In like 2
within
days,
the week.
maybe 3.
Very well.
It's longer than that. Perhaps something has happened to us, but we will do our best despite that to get them back to you.
Well, if it's longer than that, then I'll know what's happened to you.
Yeah.
Everyone will kind of nod and look up at the actual statue or vigil or whatever of the Raven Queen in this room.
In the back of the room,
Just gonna nod.
there is no depiction of a person. It is a white raven that's just represented there in this silhouette.
We'll just kind of give like a respectful nod towards the statue.
Well, I hope that death does not grab you sooner than it should.
Yeah, us too. Like, very firmly. But we have high hopes. And also a guy that sort of has promised to bring us back if we die. So... should go well.
Well, you might not have much of a say in it.
Ah.
You may try to defy death, but its usher will be there to greet you. It'll be him you'll have to convince. And whether you're ready to pass on.
I'm actually not
Then-
sure. Yeah,
And
you're
maybe
totally
it'll
right.
go precisely when we must. And no sooner.
Cal's brain just went, does my soul even belong to the gods anymore? His brain is like, I don't think that's actually what's gonna happen, but sure. Sure, my dude. Raven Queen, 100%.
He gives a nod, and the door opens behind you, ushering you to leave.
Yeah, I'd step out. We're heading out.
Okay. The two of you leave the temple, the cathedral to the Raven Queen, find your way outside, and eventually contact the manor, the estate, and find your way back in with everyone else. We're going to have a little break since we are about halfway through at the moment. And when we're back, we're going to have a bit of a flashback. So, Robbie, you better prepare yourself.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll be back in like 5 minutes or so. So stay tuned, grab a snack, and BRB.
Bye-bye. We didn't break.
Hello and welcome back. We have just had our break and we are ready to continue. So, as I alluded to before the break, we're going to have a look at a little flashback, a little moment in the downtime that we'd had. The 6 months is a long time that spread out, and people went looking for friends, people went looking for themselves, but in this instance, a friend was looked for as we focus on Alicio, who has journeyed alongside Cal. Alicio and Cal, the two of you, had planned to visit the city of Zephdal, the city of giants, a place that is very hard to find because it is a floating kingdom, a floating city, a nation that is completely held in the clouds and moves from continent to seas to oceans, wherever it can, wherever it pleases. But luckily enough, from a fucking roll of the dice, Cal knows a very influential figure within the city. And Cal, how do you reach out to them? What do you say?
Since I have my lovely feather, I get an extended sending of 100 words, which I did not think to write out, but I assume it goes something like, "Ayo, I hope you remember me. This is Cal if you don't. The guy that doesn't matter. So a friend of mine looks for a friend of his, and he is in your lovely city. Could you perhaps tell us where it currently is, and or tell us how to get to where you currently are, or like something like that? We do have means to teleport. If you could just tell us where you are. Please."
As you write the message, it sends off. A message will come back. Galomeus. Yes, I know that name. You came by the city a few times. We had a good laugh. To find the city is difficult. It is best I come and pick you up. Tell me your location and I will be there. I look forward to seeing you again. So, message sent. You
The feather
rendezvous.
recharges every day, so it takes like 4 hours or something before
To
you can write the
plan this
reply.
out, yeah. It's like meeting up with your friends. You're like, when are you going to be free? Not sure. When are you going to be free? Let me check my calendar one day later. Have you checked your calendar? Actually, no, I haven't yet. Can I check tomorrow? Eventually, you plan a day to meet in some undisclosed location. Meeting you there. I say that because I can't fucking think of a place, okay? But meeting you there, you
Just
see
sit down.
this huge storm giant. impressive in stature, tall, wide-shouldered, brimming with armor that has this almost electrical buzz around it, as though itself has this almost magnetism, just by how it's attuned to their body. Carrying a spear by its side, you see Electhiz, the storm giant kind of guard, the main guard kind of leader for the city of Zeftal. Arriving there, you see as well a couple of other kind of priests that seem like long-robed. These people have depictions of Corlin across them, and you see they are both air giants themselves, cloud giants. They both kind of prepare the incantations to teleport back and forth. Electhis introducing himself. Calameus, it is good to see you again.
Electhos, it's so nice to see you again. How have you been?
It is. Oh, I've been better. It is good times at the moment, but
Nice,
stressful. There are a lot of nights where we are out drinking, as you know. It can get quite crazy during these periods of celebration, but all good here. All good. The city is as pleasant as
Amazing.
always. You will enjoy quite a few of the
That's great.
festivities. If I remember correctly, there was a couple of bars I'd found you got into a little bit of trouble, but you were able to talk your way out of it, which is always a pleasure to see.
I'll make sure to make a repeat performance. Alexis, this is Alicio, cleric to Nebula. Alicio, this is Alexis, warden to the Stormgate Azor prison. The, super secure, very serious prison of Zeftal.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Alicio.
Likewise.
Nebula, I've not heard of this deity.
Oh, she is a goddess of the stars and fortune tellers.
I am not as well versed in deities, so I must learn more. There are always more gods every day, more than I can keep track of. My mind is quite fixed on certain tasks. I don't want to get distracted. Unlike Calameus here, who is like a rabbit running around doing so many different things at once. It is very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Thank you.
But I hear you need access to the city of Zeftal. Well, I can take you there. I won't be able to keep you there for much of a long time. Most people who are foreigners will have a jurisdiction of a few weeks, but after that point, I can take you back whenever you need to.
I think that's more than enough, thank you.
Anything for a friend of Calameus. Then, priests, if you could please. And he starts talking giant with them, exchanging a few pleasantries, and you see the wind begins to circulate around you, and everything just begins to fade away as the clouds become more opaque and opaque. The wind just cuts through the image around you, and you find yourself almost gently dropped onto a completely different surroundings. Whereas where you were before, the sun was probably quite high. Now it is just about rising over the horizon. You have traveled westward of the continent from where you were before. Slightly a few hours ahead, behind, rather. But you have arrived in this beautiful, large castle, the courtyard of which has huge trees, blooming gardens, and you can see guards as well as ordinary civilians walking around with open arms and not really having much of a worry about invaders or anything. You guys arrive as if it's nothing. People do not comment on it or seem to be surprised as you instantly appear. So you are brought about your day as you see fit. As soon as you step off at the teleportation circle and look out past the walls of this castle, you can see that this city is alive with festivities. There are people around in every corner, drinking, celebrating. There is a constant buzz of people just kind of enjoying life, enjoying the pleasantries of it. And even though it's quite early in the morning, everyone seems to be awake and vibrant in this city. Electhiz will gesture to the two of you. Are you here for the festivities, or you'd mentioned looking for someone, no?
Yes, I'm looking for a friend.
Well, I will wish you good luck on that, because the city is quite large. Both giant and folk like yourself are around every corner. It is bigger than you'd expect it to be for a city. If anything, it is the heartland of our nation. Every giant lives here, as well as everyone who has been founded within the nation itself. You may struggle to find them, but I'm sure if you know them well enough, you can look in the right places. Everyone will be out in the streets at this time, unless they are recluse and hiding away in some bar.
Quite the opposite. So
Then the
probably
celebration
not.
cities, then.
Well, actually, they're a bard. Maybe you've spotted them before. Tiefling. Purple
Tiefling.
skin. Black hair. Pinkish eyes. Guitar.
You see, he starts to kind of nod with this almost reluctant look on his face. I know who this troublemaker is, yes. He's a part
Yeah.
of the band that is in the city.
Oh,
I do
Do
not
you know-
remember what their name is, but it is not the most pleasing. But if this is your friend, they will certainly be in the parade, perhaps hosting one of the many journeys through the alleyways. But your friend has seen a bit of trouble. But something tells me you know that already.
yeah. Well, I don't know the specifics, but knowing him, I'm not surprised.
He's quite the rebellious type. He's been close on a few occasions, but he is new to the city and doesn't know our culture, so we let it slide by. He's not done anything too untoward. Deep down inside, you can see that he is a man of good nature. And well, this band is certainly vocal in the same way. If you're struggling to find him, all of the band members, they all are dressed in dark black suits. So that will probably be easier to see in a city which is mostly white and silver.
Okay. Thank you for the information.
Just make sure he doesn't get into more trouble.
I'll try.
Otherwise, perhaps I will find a new friend, Cal. Well, I have some duties around the city, but if you ever need anything, and Cal, if you want to grab a drink later, we'll
Oh,
meet
yeah,
at the
hell
same
yeah.
spot.
When are you off? When are you off?
Later.
Are you still off at the same time, roughly?
Yes, there is a moment in the
perfect.
afternoon, but that is when I do my exercise, so preferably after
Yeah,
hours.
no, whenever you have time.
Good,
We'll-
good.
We'll meet up.
Okay. Well, I'll see you then. Enjoy the Queen's Jubilee, and you kind of walk off and leave you to it. So, you're going to try and look for him?
Yeah, but first Alicio just takes a look around, and then it dawns on him that he's about to meet Kite and turns around to Cal. I can do this. I'm gonna throw
You
up.
can do this. You can.
I can't.
No.
Let's just go
stop
back.
blaming- No. Don't throw up. That would put like your whole body in a bad mood, and you know this better than I do. Don't do that. We've talked about this. You can just. It doesn't have to be weird. You can just go up to him and you have a chat, and you apologize. You've prepped your apology, right, or something.
Pulls out like a notebook of 60 pages long of like some stuff being scribbled. Most of it is unintelligible because doctor's handwriting, but
Okay. Do you have like a finalized version that's a bit more compact, or is that?
What do you mean?
Is
This is
that
the
the-
final version.
Okay.
In the drafts.
Yikes.
Okay. You still got this. Just maybe cut out the not too important bit. Okay. Maybe you'll have the patience for all that. We can tie him down and make him listen to it. How's that?
No!
Oh,
What the hell, Cal?
that's off the table. Got you.
I'm pretty sure that's called kidnapping. Or unlawful arrest.
Is it? Maybe.
Have you done that before?
No. So, okay, cool. You got this. You're just gonna go up to him, ask for like a private chat, and then you're gonna apologize. And then you're gonna just let the conversation flow naturally. You can 100% do this.
Okay. I will try.
And I'll have your back. Shout if you need me. Let's go find him, yes?
Okay.
Okay.
I will say that Alicio left behind the like cleric cloak he usually wears. He's just in his like regular dark blues and black outfit.
Okay.
Hair slightly styled back.
Okay. Then, if you are looking for him, I'd ask for both of you, because you've described him to Cal as well, right? So Cal knows what to look for. Okay, then I'll ask for the both of you to roll a
There's like
perception check.
There's like a really shitty doodle. It, like, you know those like bad anime where they have like a triangle yeah.
Looks like Phineas.
That's
and
what I'm
Ferb
looking
put
for.
together.
Fucking triangle shit. That's the most prominent feature. That's what I'm looking for.
Perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You enter the crowds, keeping like away enough to not get lost in them, because it can be quite easy to just fall into them and then just get lost as you're just being pulled along into the kind of dancing and the music that they're playing. So you keep a little bit of a distance as you are looking for someone in particular. Alicio, you try to look around, and at some points you have to kind of divert and split away from Cal to kind of get both sides of the street. As you begin to look around, Cal, can you roll a d10, please?
Oh lord.
6.
You can see 6 people matching the description of a lighter, almost pinkish, some purplish sort of tiefling. These trains of people are in the hundreds, so you're seeing like similar sort of people in amongst these crowds. They are in different areas. Is there any sort of criteria you're trying to go for Cal to try and pick amongst all of these people?
I think what would have stuck with Cal quite intensely is the guitar, as I also imagine Alicia would have spent some time describing that it's quite unique. So anything that sort of looks like and something more exciting to him, an exciting looking instrument, not the standard boring stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what he's sort of looking
Alicia would mention it is like a black panther on the guitar.
Okay.
That's
Does
it being
Cal?
red.
This is just going to be a question for Leona. Does Cal know what a guitar is?
Yes.
Okay, just.
Wait, is that not
double-checking.
common knowledge?
It-
Guitar is not a common.
It might be. I'm asking you. what would Cal know about instruments?
Well, Cal, having been across like all corners of at least this continent and one other, yes, Cal knows what a guitar is.
Double check. You see someone with a pan flute, and you're like, not them.
Close, but no.
You then continue through the crowd, and eventually, you spot a guy who is at the front, kind of closer to the front of this snake of people that's kind of journeying together. There are gaps between these groups, so they seem to be led by 1, 2 singers or dancers that are kind of like leading the flow of where everyone journeys through this very kind of metropolitan sort of city. You see one guy, similar description. You see the guitar in hand, playing between their kind of almost sharpened nails as they're playing along the threads and up and down, giving this quite bassy sort of riff as they're playing. Their motif and what they're wearing is different to what was described to you. That's why you weren't sure if it was them or not, but most of it seems to be the description that you've seen. As well, you see next to them a few other figures who are wearing a similar sort of clothing, that kind of like dark black sort of suit that was described by Electhiz. You see about 5 others that are just kind of playing alongside this tiefling.
He's gonna wildly look around if he spots Alicio or if he's lost him too much. And then just like wildly gesture, over there, over there.
Alicia, you see Cal just gesturing towards you.
Do I spot Kai from where I am, or do
You'd have to kind of like get a little bit closer to see him, because there are currently some larger figures that are blocking the view. That's why you didn't spot him straight away. So knowing where he is, you can kind of like turn the bend and get the eye yourself.
Goes a bit forward, leans to see what Cal is pointing to, gesturing to.
You turn over, look past the couple of giants that are in this group, as well as the few other humanoids that are darted around at the bottom, to see Kai. You see Kai there. His outfit is a little different. You can see the jacket's still there, but underneath he's wearing this kind of pressed, well sort of trimmed black suit that the others are wearing. Even though it's slightly tethered, you can see the collar slightly more open, less formal like the others. But he's kind of playing along, kind of in the moment, his tongue kind of sticking out as he's playing this electrical riff as he's just continuing to walk down. The others that are with him seem to have a similar sort of instrument style and play style to him, as they as well are very almost juxtaposition to what they're wearing. They're wearing what looks like you'd expect a jazz sort of band to be wearing, but they are playing this almost heavy sort of soft mix of rock that goes back and forth between the two versions. Kai adding in almost that more metal element to it, which makes it kind of pop a little bit more. But they are kind of in the flow. They don't notice you. Kai doesn't see you either, but they're kind of like leading the charge.
Alicio goes behind the giants again for a moment, kind of straightens out his clothes, fixes up his hair, and then takes a deep breath and starts making his way to them.
Okay.
Probably got some flowers on the way.
Sure.
But like a small bouquet, yeah.
There are flowers that are being thrown through the streets anyway, so there are vendors that aren't selling them, they're just handing them out to people. So you just grab a bunch on the way and you just have them in hand. One of them is slightly larger than the others, whilst the others are kind of like gathered and smaller, regular size, whilst one is slightly more giant. All these kind of white and red roses that just bloom at different stages, but you have that in hand. You walk up to the front of this kind of like serpentine group that's moving. Do you make yourself known? Because at one point you do see Kai kind of push his way to the side of this this mosh pit that he's made. So he is within like arm's reach if you reach over.
I mean, he's performing currently, no?
He is, yeah.
I don't think he'll pull him to the side or anything. He'll just wave from where he is, not wanting to get into the mosh pit of people. Just like a...
Okay. As he kind of like leans in to go on the guitar, pushes back to the other side, there's a moment where he looks over to the crowd and smiles in your direction. As he's walking over and kind of like going with the flow, he kind of stops, sees you, kind of goes idle with his arms. They go slack as he's just staring at you. Everyone else begins to continue the walk as he's just kind of in the middle of the crowd, just standing still, looking in your direction. Do you follow the flow or do you stand still as well?
Standing still as well, noticing that he's frozen up. Drop of sweat as he like, is this a good or a bad thing?
You see where he was like in the moment, his frown was kind of like burrowed, but it was mainly due to like being so into the music that laxed seeing you. And now you see his brow furrows again, but now with a hint of anger as he's just kind of like and now he begins to wade through the crowd as they begin to walk, impeding him. He's pushing him out of the way. He's like getting between two, holding his guitar tight in his right fist as he's just kind of...
Alicia's just bracing for impact.
This angered look gets closer and closer and you begin to wince. And then... yeah.
Just quick sending to Kai. Tell my family I love them. Okay, bye.
As he's coming towards you, you let out the spell and he then hugs you.
He stands frozen for a few seconds and then hugs back. And if Cal is watching, this is the first time Alicio lets someone hug him and hugs back too. And just holds him tight.
At the moment, he doesn't say anything, but he just embraces you, and then he'll kind of grab your shoulders and just shake you in front of him.
Okay.
You've really put me through the fucking ringer.
Sorry. Wasn't on purpose.
When I thought you were just done with me, you really are something, Alicio. I don't know if you were trying to kill me with everything that went on, whether I should kill you for everything that you made me feel.
Could we talk somewhere less...
Talk! Yeah, we should probably talk about it. Fuck.
Okay.
Hair looks nice though. For someone who was supposed to die like a couple of weeks ago. Thanks for sending me that message and like waiting forever to send me something back to say that you're okay.
I'm sorry about that. There was a lot of stuff going on and...
Okay. Like I was going to say something, but I won't. I'll leave it be.
I'll explain everything.
Yeah, you know what? I deserve it. So yeah, you really should like give me a full explanation. Do you have like a 60-page like thing ready?
No. Shoves notebook
Liar.
back in bag.
What was that?
Nothing. There was nothing
Starts
there.
going through your bag. What was that?
No.
I fucking...
Look.
I was joking.
Just shamefully takes it back.
What's the first thing you have written on here?
It looks like insane man scribbling. Well, a lot of it was apologizing for not telling you earlier that I'm okay, and for not meeting you when we agreed upon it. I know I told you over message, but I wanted to say it in person that it wasn't on purpose. I would never leave you hanging.
Well, I did think it was a little weird. A little strange. Because, you know, I was really looking forward to getting away with you and you just fucked off. You just disappeared.
The guards at the manor caught me when I was trying to escape, and they pretty much doubled their eyes on me. But I
Your
got
family's
out,
weird,
and I've
man.
been looking.
You're fucking... What's wrong with them? Why don't they just let you go? Just let you live your fucking life.
You know what my dad is like.
How did he get your mum, by the way? She's like a 10. How did that happen?
Oh, ew, don't describe my mom like that.
She is,
I don't
though.
know. She's a badass.
She's a baddie.
Stop.
No.
Well, actually, I've spoken to her since I left. She seems to be supportive.
Well, your mum was the only one that ever seemed like she was speaking a bit of sense. So...
Yeah. A bit overprotective, but I think she's learning to let me do my own thing.
That's what mums are supposed to do, though, Alicio. Come on.
Keep you in your room in a manor for 18 years.
Well, that's being a prisoner, but I'm sure everything else that she did was with love or something.
Of course it was with love. She
Well.
cares a lot.
Well, let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You sure it's fine? You were kind of performing.
I can perform fucking afterwards. I can't speak to you
Okay.
afterwards. You might disappear.
I won't, I promise. I'll be here for a few weeks.
You promise?
I promise.
Really?
I do.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, also these are for you and pulls out the flowers and the guitar. And this
Oh.
is not me trying to buy an apology.
You're trying to buy an apology.
No.
I accept it.
Cal said it might be taken that way, but no, I want to do it properly. And I just found these things, and they made me think of you. So take it, and just shoves it in his
You're
hands.
thinking about me?
Yes.
How much?
Ever since I left home.
You're also thinking about me when you go to the toilet?
No.
So you're not thinking about me all the time then?
Do you think of me when you go to the toilet?
Sometimes.
Do you think of people? Please don't.
That's like my safe space.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna judge. It's fine. You get a free pass for today.
I'm gonna say the wildest shit now. This is great.
No, why did I say that?
This is great. By the way, who's the fucking stick man over there? He's been looking over in our direction.
Oh, that's Cal, a friend I met along the way. He's helped me get here to Zeftal.
Okay. Is he gonna
I think
join
he
us
will
or is
go
he gonna
on.
like leave?
looks over to Cal. I think he was mostly here for emotional support? Question mark. But I can introduce you later, if you'd like. I think you two would get along, actually.
Narrows his eyes. Okay, sure.
It's very chaotic.
Okay, then we will get along. Nice. Is he going to join us for a drink then, or is it just you and me?
Well, I was thinking we could catch up first.
Okay, grabs your hand
us.
and pulls you into the alleyway.
Oh. Face turning slightly red, but holds it back and keeps walking with him.
What's
Um,
Cal doing? You see the
mean,
two of them
Cal
just
has
disappear.
So far away that he can't hear what they're talking. Like he's
Yeah.
been, like I don't know, 20 feet away, staring. Like every now and again, looking in their direction, being like, okay, no, still no murdering happening. Perfect. Yeah, binoculars out, just enhancing something. No, okay. Seeing them go into an alleyway, but also seeing Alicio not struggle, he's like, what is that? That's very conflicting. That's unhelpful. He's gonna follow them a bit, and then he's just gonna go, well, Alicio has magic. He would tell me if he wanted me to follow. So, I guess I might leave them alone. And then he waits a few moments in case Alicio does contact him, but then he would go on his own merry way.
Okay. Do you, since I imagine no contact is going to be made, do you end up joining this party, or do you go off on your own side quest?
Dear God. Oh dear God.
Well, have I made any promises recently to Orvin or similar that I would behave or like something like that?
Next thing
Probably
we know,
not,
Dr.
right?
O'Beer was freed from prison, escaped with a redhead.
Last scene.
Oh. I wouldn't do that to my buddy Alexis. That's his responsibility. Anyway, unless he help. No, okay. Yeah, he's definitely going off on a side quest. He wants to check out all the plant shops that Zeftal has, as they have a telling of being expensive and fancy. So
Can
he
you
wants
roll a
to see that.
D100, please, Leonie?
30, yes, that's
All right.
low.
Well, you write to me what happens in fucking Zeftal with Cal, and we'll deal with
Read
it.
already.
Um,
What does that mean?
you have quite a bit of sway in what happens. Anyway,
Nice.
for the reason why we're here, Alicio, you are dragged. You are kind of in this bit of a haze as you're just being dragged along by Kai. You don't really know which ways you're going. You're just kind of like following him as he drags you around. There's a place I know. We get good rates there. Me and the gang, we perform there on occasion, so it's not super expensive like everywhere else. He'll give us a couple of drinks in the house, I'm sure. He kind of like stops in the alleyway, but looks around. We are alone. And gives like a half smile. Is there anything you want to say now?
Looks around. Are we really alone?
Yeah, there's no one around. Everyone's out celebrating in the main roads.
I guess there is something I wanted to say.
Where's your owl, by the
thing
way?
is- Oh, at home. I didn't think it would be right to bring it with me.
Okay, so you left it in a cage as well. Nice. Okay.
No, he can't fly.
Well, you can walk.
Yeah, but we also faced a fucking demon, so I didn't really want it to be there for that.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly what I Look, it's probably for the best it stays there for a bit.
Okay. Well, if you don't have anything to say, let's go. And you just grab your hand and...
Okay. Grabs his hand back.
Kai has like grabbed onto you before to like whisk you away to different areas in the city when you first met. This time you can feel the touch is less sort of aggressive and more kind of like, let's go! This one you can feel is a little bit more tender, a little bit more softer. And you just kind of notice that as things like that you would with time. Eventually, he drags you over and you see this medium-sized tavern, nothing too crazy. It's not built for giants. It's something more accustomed to the mass of people that live here. It's called the Glass Jug Inn, and it is a tavern/inn. So the place isn't very busy at the moment because the celebrations are outside. But he opens the doors. You see he greets the owner with kind of a big smile. Then he just kind of like asks for 3 drinks. How many do you want?
Just one is fine for now.
And that was a joke. I got one for you, and we're gonna share the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can cover it if you'd like.
No. He looks over. No order. Is this all? Yep, all free. Here you go. You had a good performance last night. Well, we try. He takes the drinks and places them on the table. You're the only ones in this tavern, except for a couple of barflies who are just kind of like sat on the corners doing their own thing, and a few other people who work here who are like preparing for the evening. But it's just yourselves kind of in the center. You see a stage, a performance kind of open on the right-hand side that is empty and being cleaned up, seeing as there was some sort of event last night that had taken place here. His finger kind of goes in the rim of the glass and kind of... So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, band, that's new.
Yeah, a little bit different. You know me, I like do my own thing, but I thought, well, it's quite circumstantial at the beginning. When someone didn't turn up, I didn't quite fancy going by myself on the ship, because everyone else looked like plebs. If I'm being honest, they didn't look like they were going to be fun, especially for a journey that's going to be like a month long. So instead, there were these other guys. They looked pretty killer, and I thought, well, let's see if I could get in with them, and they took me on, and I didn't quite realize that the ship I was getting on was an airship, and then it traveled to here, but that's not here or there. I just wanted to get away from Isradana, really, so yeah. Shit was bumming me out too much, and with how fake they are, no offense to your family, well, a little bit of kind of offense to your family. You can see clearly that they don't give a shit, and I was just a bit fed up with that, so...
Yeah, that's why I wanted to leave too. You know, other than Nessa and other being the way they are. There's being stuck up, and then there's being them, so...
I've seen a few posters with your face.
Yeah, not too happy about that.
Well, you'll be lucky to find that none of them are here, even though people try to post things on the job boards. the guards make sure to take all of them down. They don't want any dramas, so the city is stuck by its own, inside its own walls, which is nice. It's nice. We're not having to deal with the outside world, which is a nice little difference here, I guess. Even though, yeah, this place is quite stuck up. It's very expensive. They think they're all privileged.
I mean,
Fuck
they
'em.
are.
But they pay well. And not all of them are that bad. So, at least here, you see what you get. Unlike, you know.
Yeah. I was quite surprised when you told me you were here, knowing the reputation of the place.
Wow. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm not going to be here long. I'm going to stick out with these guys for a bit, see what they end up doing. They're kind of my ticket here and out of here, really.
Do they have a name?
Yeah. They call themselves Crying Underwater Never Triumphs. It spells cunt. That was the main reason why I saw the name and I was like, that's pretty dope. And they're quite vocal. They're quite, you know, rebellious in the sense of they hate authority. A lot of their songs, they vibe with me. Jarhead, the kind of head singer, he used to be a Vorid Empire soldier. But fuck, the amount of stories he's told me about the weapons they've used, it's not good. So he's very vocal. Then we have some other members as well. Mirai, Plora, Vinny, Lena. They're all from different parts of the world. They've all just gathered together. Some of them ex-soldiers, some of them affected by conflicts in their tribes. Some of them just want to be a voice for change, you know, that sort of thing.
Sounds right up your alley then.
Yeah.
But to explain what happened, so I headed out 2 weeks after we were supposed to meet, and then I got on a boat, and that boat got attacked by fire monkeys from a volcano, and then I got saved by the group that Cal was in, and then we went to Tresvalar, and they told me they were fighting demons, and I offered to help because they saved me.
You're saying demons as if this is like common like terminology. I you know I don't like do this whole god thing, so is this a Nebula thing? Is this a Palor thing? Is this like something I need to worry about?
All of them thing?
Okay. I think maybe you should have that second drink then. I think that's yours, buddy.
Yeah, because then Cal crashed a giant slug into a city, and we got in trouble with their authority, and somehow ended up striking a deal with this guy, which made me and another person almost evaporate from like old age, which is when I called you, because at the same time we were fighting one of the demons, who was actually two of them, and had a army of robots or warforged. And one of our friends died.
Okay, when you said you had an apology ready, I didn't think you were gonna go that unbelievable to try and like convince me of. 2 weeks I can understand. The rest of it, come on. You're doing that serious look. You can't be serious, surely. Really? All of this in like the last month? Are you kidding me? Alicio, what sort of shit are you in?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on half the time. I just wanted to finally leave home. Now I'm fucking with these people who fight fucking demons or something, and I had to watch someone evaporate in front of my eyes, and I don't know.
Takes a drink. Can I get 5 more? Thanks.
Honestly, I'm surprised that some of those gray hairs didn't stay in after all of that.
I was gonna say you are looking a bit more mature. You're looking a bit more like your mum.
Thanks.
It's the hair mostly.
I did cut it quite a bit.
Looks nice.
Thank you.
With your very busy schedule, thank you for coming to see me.
I was always going to come see you. Was the main goal.
Well, I'm sorry that you got sidetracked so much then. And I guess
sorry for scaring you to death.
Well, I'm not gonna get over that. That's gonna stick.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't tell you immediately is because yeah, my dad and my sister are in Calzaria.
There's nowhere safe.
I know. It's like a virus. It's just spreading everywhere.
Is your sister still a bitch, or is she less of a bitch?
I haven't really spoken to them. I actively avoided them as they
That's
plastered
good.
the
Keep it that way.
with my own.
You don't
Yeah.
need to see them. They were... Well, I was going to say a bad influence, but to be fair, I'm a little bit of a bad influence for you. But you need my influence. You don't need their influence. They suck.
He blushes a little bit. Well, your influence gave me enough courage to leave, so I don't really mind it at all.
Well, and to be fair, I have you to thank as well, because I don't think I would have left unless I met your family. So that was a great insight for me.
You're welcome, I think.
Yeah. I don't do the whole apologizing thing, but I do want to kind of reciprocate some of these feelings that you're showing me, because I do feel slightly guilty. I never actually reached out to you because I was a little bit pissed off, and that's quite selfish of me. I should have at least tried, waited maybe, gave you a bit more time. I know it was a lot for you, and I think I was just quite, quite rock and roll. I was ready to just change everything on a dime, and I should have known better than to expect that from you as well. So I am,
Alicio places his hand over Kai's, looking at him very seriously, almost maybe angry a little bit.
He starts to blush. What have I said?
When I was at home, the only regret that I had was that I didn't go with you that night. Even when I was this close to death, probably, that was the only thing. So I know your expectations of me might not be high, but
Shut
I
up.
do understand
Shut
I
up.
wanted this.
Shut up. My expectations of you are fucking high. They're not low. I don't see you in a different way. You've got strengths that I don't have. You're super fucking smart. I couldn't even read a book to save my fucking life. It's boring. You are incredibly brave for leaving your house. That's the most rock and roll thing that I don't think I can ever beat. I will never top what you did. Leave your home, the only thing that you had, change your life for some stupid street rat like myself, really?
You're not stupid.
But I'm a fucking street rat? That's the one you didn't say?
You're not a street rat. You're not stupid. You showed me that there is someone who believes in me. That I'm more than what my family says.
Well, okay, Mr. Cleric. There's 2 people, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Have you already forgotten about Nebula?
No.
Not a very good cleric, are you?
I meant...
Nebula, there's a space open.
Hey. No, I meant... my first friend. She's family, but...
Well, I don't have friends, I only have family, so I guess you're the only family I've got. I guess that's why it hurt quite a bit. But you're blood, so, you know. Blood's thicker than water. However, alcohol might be slightly thicker. I haven't tested. But you'll know.
No.
No?
It's thinner.
Should we test it? Should we try it?
Sure, why not?
Gets its sharpened nail. Pinpricks his finger. Squeezes a little bit of blood out. Puts it into his glass of beer. Okay, maybe it is a little thicker. Yeah. Okay.
No, I could have told you that, but... fun experiment, I guess?
Do you have something for my finger?
Yes, and immediately goes in his bag to pull out a small band-aid or bandage. Cleans it first and wraps it around.
As you're cleaning his finger, he had pricked his index finger. So as you're going over it, you feel the pinky just kind of like touch the side of your hand and just kind of caress slightly as he just looks at you, help him out, and smiles. And always there for me when I need you.
Always will be.
Maybe it's the beers talking, but I'm just gonna be honest. These last couple of weeks I was in a pretty bad place. I didn't really know what I was doing or what I wanted to be, or I didn't think I had anyone left. But then you messaged and things felt a little bit brighter. Now, I'm not going to ego boost you too much, but I did start to smile again, so that's something. That's something to add to your list of accolades, I guess.
Alicia's gonna stop with like bandaging his finger halfway through. Just grab him by the collar of the jacket. No, the jacket. You really, really piss me off. And he's gonna pull him in and give him a kiss.
He'll reciprocate and he'll lean into it, and he'll just kind of place his hand around your face. As he's kissing you, he'll just mouth, I was kind of waiting for this.
Shut up. Don't
What?
talk.
I don't want to make the first move. Okay.
He does flinch a bit away from Kaisen when it's going towards his face, and just like subtly moves it to the back. So it's more like on the hair than on the face, but yeah.
It'll just move silently around. Okay. Well, as that moment kind of continues, we'll kind of take a step back. We may revisit this as another kind of view to see what happens next. But as we come back to current time, it is time to have a long rest. You complete said long rest, having created the potions that you need, created the enchantments, the weapons. We'll go over all of that between now and the next session. But today's the day. You rise, you see Hassar is standing readied, it seems, alongside Kirill, the rest of Life's Echo, as well as Caroline and Richter. Your full gang stood beside you, little Tuco. Just kind of...
Tuco is not coming.
What do you mean?
Tuco is staying in Bedavia. You're staying here, right?
No. I'm
No,
going in.
no. This is too risky. We don't
I'm
have
gonna
anyone
fuck him up,
that
Cal.
would need... No, you're not.
Oh.
You're staying here, safe, and like remember you have a duty to like a lot of families
Oh.
if we don't return. So
Oh, yeah.
if you die with us, then who the fuck is going to do that?
Well, as a precautionary measure, I have done a little bit of pre-sending of your letters. There is a pen pal. Yes, I have a pen pal.
No.
To our parents?
Well, we have this deal that if ever I die, or if ever I don't message them back, then everything that I had to do, they will do in my stead, and vice versa as well.
Okay.
What if you forget to message them back?
No, I never forget anything.
Right.
Alright, when's my birthday?
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, I still think that Tuco, this guy is called the Woe of Death. Are you sure that you want to come with us and face the Woe of Death?
well, when you put it like that, maybe not.
Yeah, precisely. So you should
Well,
stay here.
Can you at least tell me what
Please.
happens?
Of course. But you're not coming with us. No.
Okay.
Just wanna keep you safe, buddy.
Can you bring me back something?
Like a tooth?
Oh.
Yeah, precisely. We're just going to fight this guy. We're not going to go souvenir shopping. Wait, Hazar, are we
Yeah,
going
you and I
souvenir
wanted
shopping after we
to.
killed the guy?
There is no souvenir shop, no.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing. So no, we can't bring. We can bring you back. We can bring you back a tooth,
No, okay.
maybe.
If you see
Oh,
any
yeah, last-
dinosaurs,
last-
maybe bring like a
last
fossil or
guys didn't-
something.
I can bring you back a dinosaur.
No,
No.
Oh, no.
that's bad.
No.
That's a bad idea. No, cat. Bad.
Just
Yeah,
gets a spray
okay,
bottle.
Rainy.
I think that only works on cats.
No, I found out it works
Seriously.
on Cal too.
It's not.
Oberon would kind of just like take, see if, yeah.
Is it like
Oberon
holy
makes a mental
water?
note
Or...
to get a spray bottle. And before we head off, knowing that Zuko is staying, would hand Zuko one of the fairy tale books that Oberon had been trying to find over the last 6 months.
Mhm.
Maybe even it's like one partially put together from like stories from a few different books and like some of his own stories. So it wouldn't tell Zuko, that would just like give it to him to keep him company.
Sure.
Oh, thanks. Helen would have loved this.
He'll just start reading through it. Hussar announces to all of you, the time has come. We will be arriving directly into the swamp. The direct whereabouts of the demon is within the perimeters of this homestead. So be wary and alert. Be sure to alert all of us if you see him. We're here to eliminate as fast as possible. Are you all ready?
Yes.
You see he knocks the cane once on the ground. The entire house, you feel just kind of shift for a moment. That same sort of element of conjuration and planar energies that seem fixed to moments and almost a place directly in the house is almost operated by his cane at the same time. He clicks it, and you feel the shifting movement as the windows project to different colored surroundings around you. And you see the door open as you smell sulfur. You smell this tar in this heap of a mess of a swamp. You have arrived at the Ink's Keg, a swamp in Tunthier that is completely covered in elements of rotting tar, bubbling, broiling, heat emanating in this forest of a swamp. Trees are large and they hang deeply. They bow and bend as the branches reach in to the tar pits below. They are deep, dark black, like the inkiest of black. And they just bubble and pop and vent steam in different areas. You leave the premises of the manor. The manor stays affixed to this location until you return. And you see Hazar begin to look around. Start looking. And he will take to the skies. Wings. The entire cloak at the back of him, which is almost this stone of a waterfall, just spreads out, and these wings cause him to fly upwards into the sky. Kirill Shazad, this insectoid master of elements and magic, looks around. I will try to pinpoint his exact location, but use your eyes. It is the best measure to track. Life's Echo, if you could please head off in this direction. Caroline and Richter, fan over the other direction. The rest of you, please, if you go ahead. I will try and pinpoint and gather us together to the right location once we found him. As you're all kind of jettisoned into different areas, as per the commands, what are the four of you up to? You have like a location to begin to scout, to find.
I mean, most of us can fly, right?
Yeah, but for that, how many potions was I able to make?
We'll say you can make 5, because you've done some during the downtime as well.
Damn. Okay. Like 5 in total, including the one in the downtime, or 5 now?
5 including the downtime.
Okay. Oh.
I'd imagine that 2 of us stay on the ground and 2 of us go up high. Alicio and Oberon being able to fly indefinitely, if I'm correct.
Well, Oberon can fly indefinitely.
I don't think Alicio can fly indefinitely.
Okay, then the 3 of us should stay on the ground.
But it's enough
Then
to fly. Yeah, you can fly during this period. It should be enough.
Okay. 5 potions that I have that I think we should probably take beforehand. We got, or if somebody wants to have them. We got one that can remove 1 point of exhaustion, but that's not. One that can remove following effect: poison, blinded, deafened, or paralyzed. Then potion of
I
life.
also have one. I
Oh.
have also one of those, like, basically anti-conditions spells, so someone else should take
Good to
that.
know. We'll keep that in mind.
Potion of thunder resistance, and then one that gives you a bonus to your constitution saving throws for the next hour.
So who's getting those then?
I mean,
needs
who
the
has dog shit
Constitution
con
one?
saves?
I don't. I have pretty good con.
It's
I've
probably
got +3 con.
I have the highest in the group.
yeah.
Er,
The
So
Constitution's
that's
probably
probably
going
a
to go to
listed
Alicio.
Yeah.
Remind us,
Plus
Robbie, what's your con
one.
mod again?
No, it went up. It went up. It's 12, guys. It's 12.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to prematurely cast Warding Bond on Alicio.
Okay.
Hey, guys, and
So you get +1 to AC, +1 to all saves, and I take half your damage.
so people who are in close range, do you probably want to take the lightning and thunder resistance potion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's gonna end up being me and Olren.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which one do you want? Take a gamble. Thunder or lightning?
I have some resistances, fire
I'll-
necrotic, so,
I'll take
give
Thunder.
it to the...
Okay.
If my armor goes through, I'm a construct, and some of those spells with Thunder say constructs are extra fucked.
How do I?
Yeah.
I have a potion of resistance, basically, that only lasts a minute. But if you give them both to, Olren, because I can just chug the resistance one. Because that's resistance to all damage,
Okie dokie.
so it overlaps.
Both too.
We are
I'm
all
going to talk
handing
because
potions
it's
to Olren.
We're literally just like
Wow.
handing,
I also
throwing
have a
vials at him.
potion for Olren.
To be fair, the guy is your
Yeah,
tank,
I have-
so he probably needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
I have both basically a potion of enlarge and a potion of cloud giant strength for you. But I don't know which one you would like. I think that strength is probably more helpful, no?
For who?
It puts your
For-
strength up to
Arna.
Olren. Yeah, it puts your strength up to 27.
I mean, it's nice, but
yeah.
strength isn't such an important stat for me, to be honest. Honestly,
I
I
think
think
either.
strength.
I don't think any of us need strength.
Yeah, but personally, I would give that to Oberon because you keep having to make strength checks
Athletics and
whenever you
shit.
carry people.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but
Just
strength
as
is
an
probably
I would have.
absolutely yes.
I took a glyph. What the fuck
of
is it
warding?
called? Yes.
Mhm.
And I would have placed magic circle inside.
Okay.
It's like this glass little orb thing, and it would activate upon shattering,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Yeah.
And
I-
in my cards, I would have placed a revivify. That's all.
Gotcha.
I know it's technically too late to say this, but can I, before we have left, ritual cast something?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Then I would have loved to ritual cast locate animals or plants. To just have a sensor going on for any sort of dinosaur that gets too close to us, so we can avoid those. Because we don't want to get into a fight before the actual fight.
Okay.
Who wants a death
It's
ward?
within 5 miles, so tell me if anything moves within 5 miles
Gotcha.
of us.
I'll place a death ward on Cal.
Me?
Just
Okay.
in case. Yeah, it lasts for 8 hours, so.
Alright.
Basically, the first time you drop to 0,
don't-
after taking damage, and instead you drop to 1.
Yeah.
Cal, with
Okay.
your extra sense of dinosaurs within the region, you can sense a couple are within the tree lines, but the ones that worry you the most is there are some that are in the tar pits.
In the swamp.
Yeah. In the actual
Yeah, I think
tar.
there would be.
The weird thing about it is that you can actually see them on occasion. Some of them actually thrive in it and kind of swim like almost alligators, just going along the surface. And it's thick, it's coarse, it's not like it's easy to do. So these creatures have grown up in it. You've also seen in some patches there are skeletons that are just moving. There's a hint of undead to them, as some dinosaurs have continued to live despite the fact that they have died within these pits. So you see on occasion a couple of them move their heads up, and it's just this skeleton-like head of a T-Rex, and just dripping constantly through the bone is this ooze of tar just dripping out from it. And then it just dips its head back into the tar and just takes it all in again. You're seeing all of this through your spell as you kind of like getting hints of them throughout. Not all of you are seeing this simultaneously. But they are present in this area in different forms than what you'd expect as well.
Where Cal would be essentially finding the middle path between paying attention to signs targeting giants. So essentially he's tracking actively, but he's also finding a path that doesn't involve any of those, especially the skeletal ones.
Sure.
Staying very far away from those. No, thank you.
The two, who is flying in the end? Alicio and Oberon?
I think it's just Oberon.
Or are you flying as well, Robbie?
Alicio, did you end up flying?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is the two of you.
I'm saying stealthy.
Yeah.
So.
We won't roll for kind of stealth checks, since you are kind of like all as a team doing this in a coordinated manner. It's only if anything were to happen. The two of you take up to the skies, and I'd like the two of you just to roll a perception check as you're getting a lay of the land below. Meanwhile, Ulrin and Cal, the two of you are trudging along in the direction that was given to you, and I'd like the two of you to make a survival check as you are trying to navigate the swamp, which is a little tricky in some instances. If you want to give one person advantage and they kind of lead, that's also an option.
How well should...
Arne, do you want to give me advantage so I can reroll that, or do we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna reroll that. Worse.
Okay. Taken to the skies, Oberon and Alicio, you've shared information of what to expect. You've spoken a bit about the Raven Queen and the Avatar of Death as well. You've planned for this occasion of going in and taking out the Woe of Death. As you take to the skies, you kind of pull back a little bit more to get some cloud coverage, because the clouds hang slightly low here. The area around you is kind of with mist and sulfur that's popping up into the air, creating this low, misty sort of cloud cover, which you kind of use to your advantage to stay hidden as best as possible. But looking down, you can see that the swamp is quite carved in different areas, like it's segmented. At first, you think it's to do with the tar pits and where they're located, but you've also seen the trees grow out from them, so it doesn't really make sense. As you are trying to look for finer details, there's something that you see which you have to almost like pull back on your vision, like blur it slightly. And where these kind of breakages in the tree line have formed, elements of that same sort of tar-like ink have followed through, and you can see they all interconnect and create this image of a face that's there.
No.
You can see the outline of a face in the kind of forest line and the edges of that ink, and it looks like the rendition of the idol that you have. That same Avatar of Death depicted here.
This is some...
Oh, you made a little artwork.
What the hell?
Oh, he made a little artwork. That's so cute.
I don't like that you painted a picture.
Well,
Cal-
thanks for helping us, I guess. Now we know how they look like. Fucking...
But we already
great.
did. It looks like the idol, meaning the idol looks correct. We already knew.
I
Cal
know,
and Ulrin, the two of you on your feet, push through the thicket areas of where the trees kind of overhang and intersect. You're careful not to make too much noise. You're careful not to agitate the wildlife that is here. They are quite slow and docile creatures. It is not the middle of the night, so they're not active. It is not sort of a place where they tend to bite back anyway. At some points, you do see some of the bones of these like mouths like open up to you and slowly begin to snarl, but you have enough time to walk away and they just kind of close and pull back, almost like a Venus flytrap being almost drawn in by the scent of a fly. They just withdraw and place themselves back into the tar pits. But you continue to navigate forward the best you can. And for the two of you as well, with your 21, notice that there are elements of the trees here where their bark is kind of white, like bone. Some of them are darker in bark, but these ones seem to have been stripped back, these white ones, as though a blade has cut through and shaved them down to show white. And you can see on one side there is a rendition, an etched-in figure, the same figure that you've seen in the idol. This woman painted in black with the ink and tar created there and just kind of looking ahead. Perfect detail, almost identical to the idol you have, yet a different pose, not the same one.
Right, this guy really liked his girlfriend. Good to know. Okay. Where's it looking?
It's looking down to the left, away from where you came. You follow its eye line.
Yes.
And you can see there is someone sat on a stump. You see this thin man, probably about 10 foot tall, quite hollow looking. Their arms are quite thin. Their skin is blanch, greyed out for the most part. There is several cuts across their body. You can even see holes protruding through like the elbows and the collarbones, and you can almost see they've been through several wars. Their face is slightly disfigured. The skull is caved in at some points, which has left elements of the skull to actually poke through with bone. They have long black hair, but the bone does still poke through. And that has almost like a tri-horned look to it, as the protrusions are just jagged and broken at different angles. Their hair is long. It is black in some elements, but it is mostly a dark red. And the darker black elements seem to be where it's probably dragged through ink or this tar, because it's mainly on the stems, on the ends, and wherever it's dragged through. Because the hair is long, it goes past his lanky body, down on the ground, and is spread out into different kind of areas of pools of tar, and it's just kind of wide and spread. But he just sits there and kind of looks forward.
There's not many doubts, but just to make sure. Kel pulls the amulet free from his shirt. Gives it a shake. Okay, good enough.
You hold it out, and you can see it's faint, and it's definitely the person you're looking for, but it's faint. It's not like the other times where it's been strong and present and pushed forward. This is like a...
Right. Interesting. Well, whatever the signal is we agreed upon when we fucking find him, we do the signal.
Okay. We'll say that Kirill Shazad has mentally linked with all of you, and you're all speaking on a different frequency outside of the normal. you tell everyone that, Cal, and you hear he says, "We'll be coming to your destination. Be careful. Don't act."
Yep, we're not moving.
You hold yourself still, and I'd like the two of you to roll a stealth check. Alicio and Oberon.
Arna, you got this. Arna, I swear to God.
Alicio and Oberon, the two of you hear the signal. You know where your allies are. What's your plan? Are you heading down, or are you going to wait?
Yeah.
We know where
At
they
least now
are.
we're
Therapist.
So
You know
at least
exactly where they are.
Oberon would,
You know.
yeah. At least, like, I guess we're like a little bit ahead of them or something. So Oberon will kind of turn in the direction, maybe lower down into the tree line a little bit more, so we're a bit hidden, but probably not go right up to them yet, just in case. Because he did say not to engage, so probably hold back a tiny bit.
Janet, by the way, is already next to us. I don't want to use an action. She's already present.
Nice one. Alicio is gonna follow in Oberon's footsteps, and he's gonna go lower, try to stay hidden still, but he's gonna ready the glyph of warding to be thrown if this guy goes like the slightest hint of I am about to go crazy and start killing people.
You tell me when you want to interject if he ever does anything.
Gotcha.
For Oren and Cal, the two of you are quiet, but not quite enough, unfortunately. You spot that the head kind of turns over in your direction. He's missing an eye. You can see there is an element where the face has been clawed at one point. Again, different elements of it bulging. The jaw seems to be slightly unlocked at one point and then try to reaffixed by hand. He is definitely a man that carries the elements of war that he has faced. And he turns and looks over to you. Do you not wish to come closer?
Well, we don't want to disturb. You seemed super calm and like peaceful, so.
You may join me if you wish. Company is hard to find in these places.
Slow steps in his direction. The slowest. While still not making it seem like he's stalling.
So, what brings you out here? An odd place to rest?
A place of remembrance. He begins to stand up as he kind of like creaks. He's not that tall, he's only 10 foot.
You said he's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's
Like 4 or 5 feet taller than.
Just about double your height, just under.
Yeah.
He does have a bit of a limp to him as he walks. You can hear the bones creak as he stands up. He is wafer thin. His arms are very thin and tight to his body. His legs are the same. His torso, you can see the beating of his heart underneath as he looks malnourished himself. He just looks over. Please. It is hard to see you from that far away.
We've seen the art you've made. Is that who you're remembering?
I'm unsure.
What do you mean? Don't you remember?
have visions, and there are times where I see her face, but I don't know why. What brings you to this swamp?
We're looking for someone.
Well, you have found someone.
True, true.
Do you mind if I come closer?
Sure. You seem like a lovely fellow.
What's Ulrich
Rachel.
doing during this?
Letting Kel talk.
Help.
Like, Oren is pretty much banking on Kel wasting as much time as humanly possible.
Yep, that's what Kel's picking up too. We'll see how far we get.
He begins to step closer. All of the hair that he has, again long and scarlet red, is beginning to drag behind him and gathers almost up together, dipped in this tar long ago, and you just see the black streaks just begin to follow suit behind him as he just continues to walk with this limp in his stride. You see he kind of tries to focus his eyes, but his eyes are bloodshot, and he possesses no ability to blink properly. There's an element of his eyes that is always just constantly red and always looking. He cannot close his eyes completely, and he just looks over. He's probably within 25 feet of you.
You know, I think I know who she is. I think I recently saw, like, a carving of her.
Looks confused. Is that... What luck.
Right?
Do you possess such a carving still?
You wanna roll a fucking coin whether or not Oberon or Cal has it?
I mean, Oberon doesn't have a bag of holding currently, and I think Cal does, so I'm guessing Cal has it probably.
God, the endless question of who has it. I don't
Fuck's
fucking
sake.
know if Cal has a bag of holding. I don't think he does.
We all got a
saying
bag
that-
of holding during downtime.
Okay, good. Yeah. Then
Flag wave during the
I
downtime,
guess
everyone
Cal
got
has
their own
it.
bag.
Mental apology to the Paladin of the Raven Queen. Whoopsie, I guess I'm not giving it back. And he... Well, if I throw it at him, he's probably not gonna see.
Oren would
Yeah.
see your conflict and offer to take it to the figure. But
Okay,
I'm more
Cal's gonna
durable.
hand. Alright.
He extends his
Yeah.
arm out, but can't quite extend it fully. Fingers bent, broken, missing, as he just reaches out. If you'll give it to him.
Yeah, Oren
We've-
carefully hands it over.
We found it at a temple dedicated to death.
F.
Conveyor of souls.
You see, he looks at the idol, and you can see that he's reminiscing, and he just mouths, "My existence is a calm storm, formed by the tears of those I silence."
Oh, he's saying the prayer. Fuck, we're so cooked.
Maybe. Would be fun though. No, okay. It would be horrible if I'm being honest, but it would be fun.
he will give it back. Thank you. It has been a long time. I miss her.
Well, there might be a way for you to reunite.
Roll a persuasion check. At advantage.
I can't believe you're actually letting me roll for this. Did you say with disadvantage?
With advantage, yeah.
With advantage.
Oh boy.
I don't want to click it. I don't want to click it.
Fuck!
You cannot be
Am I
for real.
within-
You cannot
Am I
be
within range
for
to
real.
allow him to reroll?
That is too much.
That's
You can't.
crazy. Absolutely.
Can Alicio
not.
make
What
me
the
reroll?
hell?
I
What
can
the hell?
technically ask for a reroll if I use my cape stuff. I can
Max,
turn out.
How does this always happen to you?
can
Leonie,
Alicio
what have you
make
fucking
me-
done in this life or the past? What did you do
I
to
don't
deserve
know.
this sort
I
of luck?
don't know.
2 nat ones. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Yes, you are within range. You wanted to stay within range. You can give them
I
a
give-
reroll.
I give reroll.
Can't be
because
that
what
bad.
the
Okay, no, I'm
hell?
not gonna say it. Okay.
Holy shit.
Well, it's not
That
a
is-
one.
Abysmal.
Your luck is just ungodly.
I
The
don't
gods
have
say no
anything.
today, apparently.
Al doesn't have any reroll abilities, so yeah, it's a 6.
What will it take?
It would mean that you cease to exist, at least on this plane.
But if I leave, who will protect my brothers and sisters?
Well, from what we've been told, they're quite powerful. I'm sure they can watch over themselves. They've existed for such a long time. I'm sure they can do a few centuries more, or millennia, or eternities.
How do you know me so much?
But I didn't say we were looking for someone.
And at this point, the entire tree line is covered with your allies as he begins to look around and see that he's
No.
surrounded.
I hate the dice so much. Fuck.
Well, he had a chance to join his wife peacefully.
I tried.
It's okay.
He looks down at the ground. I see. Death has come for me. Are you those to take me there?
We'll certainly try.
Will I be returned to her?
I know of a way that would destroy your essence. And I do not know what happens to your kind when that takes place.
about it, it's quite possible. It is the best I can promise. We don't even know where she went. But it is very possible, yes. It's the best I can offer.
This world has defied me. Your people have defied me. I have fought against you too long to know that my place is not welcome here. I accept my fate. Do as you must.
Oh,
Well,
Is he being honest?
fucking knows. It's a
I'm
demon.
asking the DM.
From the point of view you have, it's hard to read his inflections, but you can make an insight check nonetheless. It's a high DC though.
Are you making an
beat it,
insight
though.
check against this guy? And I want to look at Aiden Hassar, who is doubtlessly somewhere here.
Sure. You can
And
roll an insight check against
Alice-
Aiden Hassar.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, oh, well, the way that I was thinking of is Janet eating you.
That's
Can't do
fine.
that in that form. You're a bit too big for that. 28! Holy shit! That's where my luck went. I swear to God.
Um,
We.
we'll start off with Alicio. Alicio, you can see that this is a man who has fighted his entire life. This is a creature, a form of demon that has nothing else to do but fight. It fought not through its own volition, but there's a deep care for death that it has, an obsessive one, if anything. A person like that would not use words lightly when it comes to their own demise. If anything, it looks like that they've tried at some point. So, it's almost a challenge. If you can kill him, then go ahead. He's accepting of it. But Olrin, go on, since you may as well say something back. What are you thinking, Robbie?
Well, I just said yikes.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had a question.
No, I was gonna say, oh man, I really wasn't wrong when I said I wanted to bring a therapist. Jesus Christ.
Olrin, Aiden Hassar wants to kill this man, and he wants to do it himself. You feel that his eyes kind of flicker to that kind of deep dark purple that's inside of him, that crackle of like demonic energy that you've seen before, that bubbles and bursts at the seams from inside. You can see that kind of flicker with the presence of him being close to perhaps another demon. But he fights back the urge, but you can definitely see it's an urge for sure.
And I place his hostility.
Sure.
Like-
You can see it's coming from a place of greed.
Well done.
Well done.
But he walks back to the stump and just sits back down with his hands on his knees, just waiting. Olrin, you notice that Aiden Hassar is beginning to step forward, whilst Coral Shazad is almost coming from the opposite end to intersect where the two of you have been. Aiden Hassar not wanting to speak with you, but seemingly going directly towards the demon.
I step between the demon and Aiden Hassar, while letting Gorshazad approach. I don't know what it is, but I can't let you be the one to kill him.
A wise choice. And that flicker of purple disappears from his eyes. As you're interacting with Aiden, the Woe of Death will look over, and you see this almost resonance between the two of them, kind of catch each other's, like sixth sense, catch each other's attention. And the Vastus will look over. We thought you were dead, brother. But it looks like you're still inside. Chained to whatever carcass you follow. Aiden Hassar's eyes flicker purple for a second, and then he shakes out of it. And we'll just stay idle as Coral Shazad walks up to the demon in question.
Seeing that Oberon would keep the crossbow trained on our dear patron, because that's odd fucking behavior.
Coril will start this incantation with his knives cutting through the air and creating different sigils. Seeing as your memory is on the fritz, I will remind you. And the images that he cuts in begin to solidify, and you see images, faces of people from his past, other people of his kind depicted and shown. There are tens of them, hundreds of them just flashing by, those of his clan. You were the first demon that I ever encountered. And you were the one to tear through my family, to tear through my clan. But as I can see, perhaps you are more human than demon. Your mind is broken. Your body is withered. A fitting end for someone so blind. He stands behind him, continuing a different enchantment, one that you've seen him testing a couple of times. As this enchantment in the air is cut and bleeds through, you see a symbol that is black in color, a almost dark star of energy that begins to pull in a wind around him. You see the hair pulls into this vacuumous void that he has conjured. And as he's looking around at all of these images of other people like Kirill, I remember all of them. And he's pulled into the void. And the rune disappears alongside with the demon. No longer there, no longer standing. They have disappeared. Aiden Assar looks over. Well done. Let us return to the manor. And we'll start walking back.
Oh, that was easier than expected. What? Is it like just like that?
Did we see where the demon's soul?
His entire
Or is it
essence was pulled into this plane, into this dimension that was created by Kirill.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's not what I promised him.
Yes, it is.
It's a
Because I
demon,
don't like
so-
either of them having their souls.
Well, as far as Kirill, he's a bit of a mystery to us, but as far as we know, he doesn't have evil intentions. And this is the guy that genocided his
Well, he's
entire
just
people.
Okay,
he's
you know,
just a
fair
being
enough.
from the beginning of time.
It's more like I
as
don't
we know
want
it.
Hazard to have it rather than
Yeah.
me. If Kirill
Well,
wants to keep
as far as
it
we
and
know,
like a
again, the two of
trophy-
them don't like each other, so. Well, that was 6 months ago. Maybe they've made friends. Oh no, are they friends now?
Kirill,
I doubt it. Kirill hates
Kirill-
demons so much. I doubt that so much.
as all of you gather back, confused, especially for Ulrin, as he is slightly cautious with Aiden, Kirill will just say to the group of you, I have captured him within a space that is devoid of any creatures from escaping, until we find a way to actually destroy these things for good and not let them escape. This is where I'll keep them for now. Unless we all decide elsewise.
That's very neat.
It's convenient.
And
Are
Ulrin,
you alright?
what did you see with Hassar? Because I noticed a flicker as well.
I can't place the feeling. His eyes were lighting up with greed, I think. I don't know if he is... I don't think he's in control of that feeling.
We'll need to be cautious then. If you see it again, let me know.
We should probably talk to him. And keep him out of fights against other demons.
Yeah, there's a reason he hired
I
us.
agree.
He should, let us do this.
Very well, and good job to both of you for standing there against this demon. You handled it
Well,
very well.
I know he murdered your entire people, but he was really nice.
Cal, time and place.
Oh yeah,
Demons
I know.
are not
Sorry.
nice, pal.
right.
It's just sad.
I had
to look
sensed
at.
that there was a difference in this one. Perhaps as time went on, they had left their ways and started to become more like you, more like us. More mortal than God.
That is a moral dilemma I didn't want.
But
Mhm.
it still doesn't erase what
It
he
does
did
not.
to your people.
It does not. But nor can it
Doesn't
bring
erase
back
what any of
happened.
them have done.
Well,
What's done is done.
and with that, as you all return back to the
So does
estate-
anyone want to find a dinosaur now? Because like I was waiting
We
for
are
a
not
fight.
bringing a
and-
fucking dinosaur back,
No,
Cal.
but
Goddammit.
did you
No, of course
see
not.
those things? They are made of skeleton. They're skeleton dinosaurs that live in tar. They are super badass. Let's fight them.
No, we are
Please,
not bringing an obviously cursed necromancer dinosaur back to our house.
Please, 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 please,
Of-
please. We can tame it.
No.
Kel, of all the pets,
No, that would. It
If
wouldn't
we
be
can find
bad.
like a
Orin-
small normal one, we did. Tupa would bring him a souvenir. A small normal one, not a
Oh,
skeletal
yeah. We can totally
one.
find
If
it.
we just have a
Orin-
small one
Orin
that we
will
can
pull out a spray
like
bottle and
beer
spray you
or something.
both.
No, gosh, that's embarrassing.
Is it holy water?
It's
no,
orange
it's
holy water. Fuck's
No, it's
sake.
regular water.
Okay.
That would raise a question though, since my bee is very into Catharina waters. Would holy water, blessed by the gods, also hurt me as well as Oberon?
I think it's
See,
only
now I
in
want
red,
to know.
no?
Quick question.
I don't
Shut
think
up.
holy water
They're the
hurts
natural enemies of the
infernal,
gods.
right? Only undead that get hurt by unholy water. By
I think
holy
there
water.
is something to do with infernal beings. Yeah, I think there is something.
Yeah.
Is there? I
There
think
might
it's.
be.
It might be
Anyway.
I think
specific.
raw there is. But...
Do we get a pet dinosaur?
No,
Race
stop.
again.
Damn it.
You already had a
But-
fucking pet. Stop.
As you go on to whatever you end up fucking doing, just let me know between the next session and now. We will end today's session with a level up. You've all leveled up to level 9. You've been able to resolve this conflict without fighting. The encounter was heavily leaned towards if you picked on certain things and understood certain aspects of him, that you could have gone down the pacifist route or you could have gone down the fighting route. It was very possible that he could have fought you guys as well. Just letting you know. So it wasn't just one outcome. But you did well enough to kind of build up to that moment. So, yeah, you got without any conflicts. And let me just say, if this guy started powering up, fuck me. It would have been hard.
I mean, as
Yeah,
soon
we
as
would've
he
been
did, I
very
would have
close.
thrown the magic circle thing, which
Yeah.
would have him trapped at least. So that's something. At least he wouldn't be able to fucking fly off and fuck off. I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Be a tornado elsewhere.
Well, I'm keeping it.
But there we are.
Yes.
That was today's session. Thank you very much for watching. A bit of a later one today. So sorry to the players. Hopefully that was all right with you guys.
Nah, it's fine.
All
Had two
good.
coffees. I'm wide awake.
Okay. The struggle of an artist is real. But thank you very much for watching at home as well. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe and like if you did enjoy, as well as follow us on Twitch and Instagram and all the social media stuff that we do. Stay up to date for when we are going live next time. If you are watching the VOD for this, be sure to leave a comment as to what you think is going to happen next, or any suggestions for what you want us to do during our Wednesday slot, because our Wednesdays we do either gaming or some discussions. So if you have any questions from today's session, from lore that was given, or these players' fucking interactions and stuff, feel free to add them there, and we'll be sure to answer them during one of our Wednesday chit chats.
First question: what the fuck is wrong with all of you?
Yeah. That's true.
Valid question. We're not
Super valid.
sure.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Okay.
Question from Max. People, put in the questions. Sit Nebula and Cal fucking. We need to know. Finally,
Pissed
tell
off.
me.
It's off. Stay away from my father, guys. Stay away from my father.
Stay away, stay away. But yeah, we'll see you next time. We're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow on Wednesday if you're watching this live, as well as we have our Fae-related campaign Away from This World on Friday. And then Sunday we have another campaign that follows this same world in Kurthayek, midday Sunday. So feel free to watch those if you're enjoying this sort of style of gameplay. We are very roleplay heavy, so if you enjoyed, then stick around. There's going to be plenty more of it. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Stay nice, stay well, don't do murder. Be pacifists.
Don't do
Don't do murder.
Don't do murder.
No.
Oh, do.
Don't listen to Robbie. Don't do murder.
Yes, only if it's important people. Okay, bye.